I want to plug Orchard Flats Juicery. We just got this juice. We just showed up.
4 locations.
Yep.
Burbank. So welcome to Twisted Hemispheres. And today we want to talk about getting back to you.
Getting back to you.
Yes, yes. You know, we wear so many labels in life, in our everyday life, you know.
Especially as moms.
Exactly.
As women, we constantly wearing different hats.
Yes, your mom, your whatever job you have, you know, wherever you're employed at, then you have to be a lover or, you know, friend. I mean, there's just so many things that we can get kind of lost in, and we forget about our original goals and dreams and things like that.
I know I do.
Oh,
I was about to give up. I was about to give up. I was like, oh, I had these kids, and then I just was with my second child, and I was about to give up. And you know this, I was taking care of my mom. My mom had been sick. She had breast cancer, and she ended up living with us the last year of her death, and I just was so consumed with wearing all of these hats, being pregnant, already being a mom, having to, you know, maintain a relationship with my husband, and then also having to think about what am I going to do beyond this, and not really being able to see kind of a light at the end of the tunnel. And that may seem like, oh my God, you're a mother. There is always a light at the end of the tunnel, but
no, let's be real about this, because I have a real issue with people who say, oh, but you're a mom, you're a wife, and that's the most beautiful thing in the world. Da, 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 da. You know, that's all great, but that has its limits as well, okay? Because,
pardon me,
you have to be real about who you were before you became all these other things.
Absolutely.
I don't care if you wanted to be a fireman, a police chief, an
whatever
actor,
it was.
you know, whatever. You have to remember those original goals, and sure, they change, you know, as you get older, but you cannot lose it.
No, the dream doesn't die just because you become a mom.
You can't let the dream die. I know, for me, you know, I went through a separation, then a divorce, dealing with the boys who blame me for everything, and, you know, seriously, you know, we were in counseling. It was a really bad, I call it the dark years. They were 7 years of just complete and utter darkness. And I was depressed. It affected my health. I really thought, you know, yeah, this is it for me. That maybe this is all I'm
and that's depressing. And that is unless you're the kind of person who your whole entire life you were like, I want to be a mom, and that's totally perfectly okay.
That's okay.
There are some people out there who are moms and they're brilliant mothers, and they do that well, and they should be commended.
We were pretty brilliant mothers.
I'm just saying that well, no, what I'm saying is that there's another aspect to me, and that I wouldn't feel fulfilled. I really wouldn't feel fulfilled if all I was, and I don't want to use that as a pejorative, but that all my only title was mother.
Exactly.
That would be
or wife.
Or wife. That would be depressing for me. It's not enough for me. It's not the reason. It's not the sole reason why I was born.
Exactly.
And I
know you have to kind of remember that, because I don't care if you have to write stuff down. I write stuff down all the time. All the time. I do little voice memos and stuff to remind myself, you know, hey, take this class, or see if you can save up enough money to do this shoot or something. You know, I do that for me. And, you know, while I'm off getting the boys' ACT classes and making sure they're
making it happen,
you know,
still making it happen.
Still got to do it. It's very stressful. I was on antidepressants.
Well, that's the other thing. And geez, why would you not be?
But I decided to get off that, because them things make you fat. I'm sorry. But, you know, I had to change my mindset. Seriously, I had to change my mindset so that I wouldn't be dependent on all that other stuff. And that's fine if that's something that you have to use for, you know, a moment. But for me, I had to just use a moment. I couldn't do that for long term, because I needed to get myself back to happy. You know, I think
happiness does not
had
reside.
a book like that, right?
Well, no, how she got her groove back?
Yeah, well, getting back her second one.
She got a second one?
Yeah.
I hope it was better than how Stella got her groove back. And I hate to, there's no hateration here, because she was one of my favorite authors until that movie came out. And I couldn't read the book. I think I got up to page 60 of that book, forcing myself to read it. And I just was like, this is Hollywood garbage. I just was like, Hollywood garbage. I was so disappointed in that book.
So
she's got all these other awesome books. Disappearing Acts, I think, was hers.
Great.
Mama.
Yep,
Mama
was good.
and I think they're making A Day Late and a Dollar Short either into a movie or a series.
I thought
A
they
Day Late
did.
and a Dollar Short is an excellent
Yeah,
book.
I thought they did already.
Yeah. No, so it's not
Yeah.
that I'm trying to, there's nothing I can do to diminish her as a writer, but
yeah,
that was some Hollywood
But getting
stuff right
back
there.
to your happy.
Okay, about
you
the
have
happy.
To, you have
That didn't make me
Talking about
happy. That didn't make me happy to read that book, but so anyway.
But whatever those things are that you had, hobbies, crafts. I know women
And
have
always
taken-
do those things.
Yeah,
Don't
continue.
not do them.
Don't stop
Oh
doing them.
God, I don't care what you're doing in
Women
your
have
life.
turned those into like empires.
They
crafts
have.
and stuff like that. Don't ever
Total
stop doing
empires.
that.
Don't stop what you're doing.
Yeah. So
Oh, no.
whatever makes you happy, you have to remember, to get some kind of mental and spiritual resolve as to,
Absolutely, because
yes,
you're
I love
talking about
my
your
kids.
spirit. I love that.
Okay.
You're talking about
For me, that's
feeding
important.
your soul
Yep.
and feeding your spirit, and people do that, and your children do that.
Yep.
But also the things that you do outside of those important family things. Feed your soul, and you have to. And that's how I felt. That was my crawling out of that deep sort of dark space of being, I wasn't depressed enough to be medicated for it. No, and that's not even it's not a bad thing. I mean, I didn't quite make that mark.
I was
Okay. Inching towards it, but I just didn't quite make it. And the only thing that really saved me was that I had a friend who came to me, a friend who was a director who came to me out of nowhere. I hadn't seen her in a long time, and she'd just gotten married, and she was working on a documentary film, and she wanted to film out of my house. And at that time, between the death of my mom and having given birth to my kid and having met up with this woman, I had been doing a lot of researching social media. So I had been sort of studying. I was at home breastfeeding, sitting on my bouncy ball, and saying I have to educate myself. There were all these 18, 19, 20-year-olds taking over, media in that way, and I was like, I need to catch up, but I didn't have time to go to a school or a city college or whatever, a tech school to figure that out. I had to figure that out by myself, so that's what I did. So by the time she came to me with that, and I was like, oh my God, I've been sitting up in this house, I've been doing, how can I attach myself to this project? But beyond having someone just use my house. And I was able to do that. That really is what got me out of that. If she had not come to my home with her own project, I don't know how I would have gotten myself out of that. I was trying.
Because
I was
tough.
working.
And you need a support system. Friends, if they're family members that are supportive, if
good friendships are important.
A lot of
Maintain
people,
those.
some people get married and that they don't, you never see them again. It's important to have a balance.
It is.
Friendships are important. The healthy ones.
The healthy ones.
Not
And there are a
the
lot of
leechy
unhealthy ones.
Okay, not the
those unhealthy ones. You really do have to. You have to
Let
practice
those go.
detachment.
Yeah.
You really do, and that's okay. It's okay to slough off the new. We rebuild our skin. Our cells die off every 7 years. It's okay. To get rid of stuff that's unhealthy and not working for you. But those friendships that are really vital and are key to keeping your sanity and making you a better person and
keeping
making
you grounded.
more thoughtful and grounded. You have to keep that in your
because they
fold.
remind you of who you are. They really do, and that's refreshing because sometimes we have to be reminded. It's like, oh, Alexa used to be so fun. You used to smile a lot. They used to really annoy me because it's like, well, I'm not happy all the time. So I should be allowed to not, smile all the time.
But you know what? That's also healthy. To be in someone's face, telling them how they should be smiling more. I mean, it's kind of the truth that they should maybe smile more. But when people are going through things, the last thing they want to hear is you yapping about how they should be smiling more, how they should do X, Y, and Z.
How about asking me what's wrong? How about that? How about asking me, how can I help you? What do you need? You need to do buzzwords like that. Don't tell me or tell somebody, well, you just smile and make it a little better. That is bullshit. I'm just saying.
I smile a lot more now, but that's because I'm actually doing the things that make me smile.
Yes. That would be me
or make me laugh,
Yes. It took me, like I said, about 7 years. Once the divorce was final and I'm, still had issues after that, but I mean, once I got out of that darkness, and I was in it for a long time, even toward the end of the marriage, it was just like, wow. I am happier now than I think I've ever been in my entire life. So, there's that. you know. But you got to do anything and everything to
Anything.
get back to what
Take
made
classes.
You do.
I think you just said that, but let's
Yep.
say you want to, I don't know, change a career. Maybe you had a career that you were doing and then you got pregnant and became a mom or whatever, and
Yeah.
you decided that isn't what it is that
Yeah.
you want to do. That's not
Yeah.
your calling. You know, even if you don't have a big chunk of time, let's say you're not working, because this is for you girls, ladies who aren't working.
Yeah.
Take a class here and there. It doesn't have to be some major full schedule,
No,
but something
some
that'll
city college
yeah,
thing or-
anything
yeah,
That'll-
online.
Absolutely, because
Yeah.
it doesn't have. I mean, that's the beauty of today is that you don't
have to sit in a classroom.
You can sit
physically.
at
Yeah.
home and figure that out for
Exactly.
yourself. And for you ladies that are working, you know, that's a whole.
That's a
other
whole nother
animal.
actual segment, actually.
It is. That's
We could
another
talk
segment. We're going to
about-
save that because that is.
Because
That's,
I have been
it's a
in the
huge segment, and we
trenches.
only have about 6,
I
7
know.
minutes. So, but that's
we'll
a
talk
huge
about that
segment about
another part, yeah.
working and trying to keep your sanity, and also trying to do the things that you love.
Yes.
Because a lot of times we're doing work that we don't necessarily love.
Yes.
And
It's
we're
a
also
have-to thing.
parenting and wifey, or maybe we are divorced, you know.
Yeah.
But you need to find something that is gratifying.
You have to. You have to.
Absolutely gratifying to you. And it's difficult. It really is. It's really.
And we'll have to tackle that the next time, because employment, that's a whole nother animal. And the job market today, and I can tell you, having been twice laid off.
I was just listening to NPR talking about millennials, and they were just like how different millennials
Yeah.
are to Generation Xers, and how we kind of were like the first latchkey kids.
Yep.
And we were, we didn't have helmets on. You know, we were riding roller skates, and if we
Didn't put
fell,
seatbelts on.
honey, that was it. We didn't have seatbelts on. We were in like, what do they call those station wagons? The way in the back of the station wagon.
We made
kissing
everything
the back
safe.
window.
We made everything too safe. And, now people, kids today, they're afraid to
do anything.
To
Oh
do
my
anything,
Lord,
to try
we're actually-
anything, and it's kind of funny. You say.
No, we Generation Xers are actually,
It's true.
we have
it's
a work
true.
ethic.
It's true, but
that-
the job market, and we will talk about that next time, because that is important. Because the job market is nothing like it used to be, 30, 40 years ago.
And
You're
she
not
can tell
going to
you.
get a job.
She can tell you.
Yeah,
You
I know.
Seriously, but no, being an entrepreneur and figuring out different ways to make money,
Yeah.
ways that make you sane, ways that put
Yeah.
you in the driver's seat.
Yeah.
You're working for yourself, and you're working for your family as opposed to everybody else.
Yeah.
That's something totally
Yeah.
different. And if we can start to really, and that is another segment, of course, but start to talk about entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
And living in your own space and being able to we live in a time where marketing has been made so much easier for us, and all we need is that push, and to be
Yep.
surrounded by people who will uplift us and support us and
Yeah.
give us that
Yeah.
stuff that we need.
Yeah. And remembering that fear is always the enemy. Fear is the enemy.
Or you have to use
It
that
is.
fear.
Well,
You know,
yeah,
it
if you're going to
exists.
channel it
You
in
have
the
to
right
use it.
way and not succumb to it and be, totally just laid out by it, yeah. But you definitely, it's a lot to be kind of unsure about nowadays.
It is a
especially
lot.
because, like I said, there's no secure job that you're going to retire in like 30 years.
People have several jobs. I think that's
Yes,
fantastic, to tell you the
exactly.
truth. I think it's
Exactly.
insane that people have been doing 30, 40
Exactly.
year jobs on the same.
It's like hustle chick right here. Hustle
Oh my
chick.
God. Life is
Really.
way too vast and interesting that you think that here you are, you're evolving, and
Yeah.
your tastes would evolve, your
It's true.
desires would evolve, your dreams would evolve. And so,
It's true. It's
yeah,
true.
you're doing multiple things that we really,
Yeah.
our parents and their parents weren't doing, and they just didn't have the platform to do it.
Right.
It's a different day.
It's a different
It's a
day
different
altogether.
day.